Welcome to this edition of Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm Gil Cloud, the Executive Director of Athletics. We have a great show today. We're going to be talking about state tournament basketball and then the start of the spring season with two of our spring sports coaches, and then a special guest from the Tulsa Sports Commission who talks about the Big 8, Big 12 championship and the future events that we're going to have in Tulsa. Stay tuned. Well, welcome to our first segment today. Scott Bowman, the head boys basketball coach at Daniel Webster High School, going to the state tournament. Boy, I tell you what, when this show is displayed, I hope you're 1-0.
I would very much like that. Yeah, we play tonight. We're going to leave from here in just a little bit and head down there and get ready. We play at 8:30 tonight.
Yeah. What do you think about your first opponent?
Victory. Well, we did scrimmage them this year, but that was during football season, so I had three of my players that are in my top six weren't there in the same way with him, so you can't really tell much from that. But they're young and we're experienced. That's one positive for us. They're bigger, so that's a positive they've got. But a lot of times our speed, we can take their size out and speed up the game. And I've known Coach Wakely for a while, so really not much scouting on either one of us parts. We've played each other since I've been here 10 years, and whether it's summer league or during the season, we've played multiple times, so we kind of know each other's style and just. If shots fall, we'll win. If we miss shots, they'll probably win.
How is it playing at the State Fair Arena?
Oh, we got to play there this group's freshman year. We made semifinals and didn't show up very good, played against Kingfisher, but that might give us an advantage because I don't believe they have any kids on that roster that have been in the big house. So three of my starters have played in a game in the fairgrounds, and so they won't be as starstruck getting in there because I could tell that first time they was, it's kind of so we'll be a little prepared. It won't be such a shock for us.
When we go down to the State Fair Arena, it always reminds me of Hoosiers.
I know, just them old. Yep.
You look how big it is. They played in small facilities, and of course, one of the good things I think about Tulsa basketball, our gymnasiums aren't small.
No, I know.
But they're not having baskets sit out in the middle of
the
space.
Don't know that much depth behind the goals. Yeah, we play a Sky 2 tournament, and that's one of the main reasons I stay in that tournament too, is because we get used to those arenas and the goals back away from the back, from the seats.
So, how does that affect your shooting, you think?
I think it's just a mental thing, really. I mean, they want, and I think if you play enough in them, they're similar. If you shoot on the side goals, I think that's a lot of similarity too, because the buckets seem like they're. So we'll do some free throw shooting on the side goals too, and practices to get ready for those. But for me personally, I don't think it's once you've played in 2 or 3 arenas, it's all the same.
You bet. So you prepare. You've got 7.
We've got 7 still. Yeah, we got quite a story. Yeah, the Webster 7.
How do you practice with 7?
Well, we've got some other kids in there that are the freshmen and sophomores. We just had a lot of problems this year with the distance learning we'd had, and them, at that young age, it's tough enough for freshmen and sophomores to stay eligible when they're in the classroom, let alone keep them at home. All our juniors and seniors are eligible, but that's all we got, with 7. So, we got some real good. I got 2 freshmen that would be helping us, but. We did study hall and did all that too. They just couldn't get it, on there in time. So, we'll make do with it. But we have had many practices with just 7. We do a lot of shooting, so that makes you just shoot the ball good. It makes up for a lot of mistakes.
Well, yeah. If you practice shooting a lot, you probably should shoot pretty good.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you always hate to play the if game, but so you get through this game, then who's next?
It'll be the winner of Heritage Hall and Holland Hall. Both of them are very good. Heritage Hall has a great player. And Holland Hall, I think, is just more of a complete team. They don't have the 1 or 2 like they did before. One thing that I liked that I saw about Heritage Hall is, they were one-player dominant because I think he missed one game and everyone was shocked because they lost to somebody by like 12 without that one player. So if you can eliminate that kid, you might
shut him down.
Like Holland Hall could have a chance just as well as anybody. And everyone thinks they're just Heritage Hall and Kingfisher are way up there, but I think us, Victory, Holland Hall, we're right there with those 2 teams.
And that would be Friday at what time?
Friday at 11:30 in the morning.
11:30 in the morning.
Yep. So
Breakfast Club.
That's right. Get to eat some breakfast, go play, have lunch afterwards, and get ready to play Saturday. That'd be nice.
And then the state championship is what, 2:00 on Saturday?
No, I think it's 6 or 6:30.
Okay.
Yeah, 6. Yeah.
Well, it's great for our kids to have that experience to go to Oklahoma City and play in the big house, as they say. As you look forward to next year, you talk about your young kids.
Mm-hmm.
How does the outlook for Webster basketball look in the future?
We've had several years like this when we've lost like one really good group. Because, this group has been to the state tournament 3 out of 4 years. And then they'll say, oh, they're going to really fall. They did that with David Ward and his and Isaiah. We went to state semifinals his senior year. And then Kyrie Cooks and Courtney. And then, just the previous great players we've had. But we always have someone step up. We got 2 juniors this year that have really played. One started every game. The other one has started probably 8 or 10. They'll be ready to play. 2 good freshmen will be sophomores. We'll struggle early. But once they get used, missing this whole year of even JV is going to hurt us. Mm-hmm. So I'm not a coach that worries. We're still keeping the same schedule. It's not like I'm going to go run away from Jinx. Now we're going to play the same guys, and they'll get used to it. We may struggle early, but at the end of the season, we'll be ready for the 4A competition. I
always thought, Coach, that's the best thing to do. When I went to Coffeyville, they made me the head wrestling coach. I didn't know anything about wrestling. Yeah. I remember the superintendent said, well, you're from Oklahoma. You know about that wrestling. I said, well, I'm from Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's all.
But we scheduled Bartlesville. We scheduled East Central. We scheduled Ark City, which was the best wrestling in Kansas, for our kids to be able to learn.
Right.
Because if you don't wrestle the best, you don't know where you got to be.
That's exactly right. Yeah, these guys will get better.
Same in football. You don't run from that kind of competition.
No.
That's good.
Makes you better.
Well, Anthony's had a great year.
He has. He's a special player, good kid, a good group. There's 3 of them there that are probably going to be playing college ball.
That's fantastic. We'll talk about the other 2.
Yeah, Isaiah Sanders, he's averaging 20.4, and Anthony's at 22. So, he's right there with him.
I saw Sanders over at Jinx, and I was really impressed in that ball game.
On the first game against Jinx, he made 8 threes in one game, the first game of the season. And then the other kid, Martwan Taylor, the area finals, he had 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 steals. Almost had a triple-double. Just all over the floor. He's quick, one of the best defensive players I've ever seen, and most coaches ever been around.
Well, now
he can play some defense.
Anthony is already committed to Tennessee Tech. And what's it look like for
the other 2? It's mostly JUCOs right now. Like Northern had talked to both Isaiah and Martwan afterwards. Seward's been talking to Martwan, and Martwan's been talking with them. So I'm sure they'll probably, if one of them will just pull the trigger, they'll go ahead and go. But it's going to be a JUCO route for them too, I believe.
Well, that's good. Well, Coach, good year. Way to come through and always getting the state tournament. Everybody wants to get there, and only 8 had that chance.
That's right.
It's
a special. I remember in high school wanting to go there, and I'm kind of getting spoiled now as a coach. I got such good players that they're players. Though I try to tell them, you don't realize how lucky you are.
Exactly.
I didn't. A lot. I was at Skytook, and they've played in the state 3 or 4 years. Ever. You guys have been 4 in the last 5 or something.
Well, good luck.
Well, thank you.
And I hope you bring that gold ball back.
I appreciate it.
We come back, we'll have Bobby Allison, the head basketball coach at Memorial.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Mini blinds, hanger, plastic bottle. The correct answer is plastic bottle. Plastic bottles and jugs are great for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But mini blinds and hangers should be thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hales means that you have to be consistent, outgoing, and be dedicated because students at Nathan Hale look up to the football team.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hale has taught me to be confident and disciplined and always to be open-minded and always ready to work with people no matter how difficult it is.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have the head basketball coach, Memorial High School, Bobby Allison. Bobby, welcome to the show, and congratulations on another good year.
Thank you, Gil. Glad to be back and still playing.
It isn't great that we're still playing.
Amen.
Whether it's in the state tournament or just playing. We
doubt.
got through the season, and
no doubt.
We've been through 2 seasons now, and we're starting the 3rd. So hopefully this weekend will be the combination of a great year for athletics in Tulsa,
no doubt.
And then we go into the spring. Well, you had another good year.
Yep.
Talk about your season and some of the key factors.
Right. Well, our season really got going, Gil, once you guys allowed us in June to meet. Right after, last year had no finality to it. It just kind of stopped and paused. And seniors last year, feel for them, but everybody that we had coming back really made a commitment from June until now to get back to the state tournament. You know, last year we got the call that it wasn't going to happen the day of, the hour before. And I just said to the underclassmen, I said, hey, if this is it, we got to try to get back to this locker room through hard work and commitment. And they've done that. Hey, it's not been perfect, but they've kept each other accountable and allowed me to coach them through these crazy circumstances. And we accomplished all of our goals. We wanted to be undefeated at home and win conference and get back to the state tournament. And now the fun part, you just got to go play one game at a time.
Boy, you know, one of the things that we've talked to other coaches about is that I really appreciate Dr. Guest and the Board of Education for listening to what we had to say, that we knew our coaches and our student athletes would do whatever it took to be able to get back. And so they believed in that, and we were able to do that. Sometimes when a lot of other places weren't, and we were tickled to death, but our coaches did a great job with our kids. And,
I agree.
It made it a lot easier. But as we get into state tournament, how do you feel about your bracket?
We earned the 1 seed, and we got a good matchup first round against Ardmore team that's playing their best basketball of the year. Everybody who's playing right now has beat somebody quality to end up there. But we got a tough one with Ardmore. They're a scrappy team, but thing going in our favor is we've played against teams very similar to them. Our conference prepares us for this type of style. So we'll just have to get in there and handle the moment and play together through all the ups and downs and just make it about basketball, nothing extra. Just good team basketball. And then after that, you know, it just gets tougher. Yeah. If we were fortunate enough to win.
How do you feel about playing at Owasso?
We like it. I like that we get 2 games there and the championship at the Mabee Center because I think Owasso can be a good shooter's gym. And we got some guys capable of making outside shots, and the Mabee Center sometimes can throw a shooter off. And I think we could use it to our advantage, especially if we just, you know, we won't get the big eyes, I don't think, the first 2 rounds. And then, you know, if we're playing game 3, we'll handle that. But
well, having been there helps your kids.
No doubt.
Even the young kids that
No
sat
doubt.
on the bench.
No doubt. They've been there, done that.
I always think that the bigger arenas are difficult with the basket
No
set out
doubt.
in space.
No doubt.
That's hard. But if you've been there a little bit, then you're not as in all of it.
Right.
So who is your key persons that have put you where you are today?
Well, I'll start with my seniors. I got 3 of them: Devin Woods, Jawan Provitt, and Dannon Lundy. And statistically, they're not leading us in scoring, but intangible-wise, they've been the ones that haven't shaken or making any excuses through the year. You know, their senior year could be, they could look at this as victims, but they look at it as an opportunity to help lead the program in a time that is like no other. So they've done that. They've set the standard. I got incredibly talented juniors. Ty Frierson, Braden Hubbard, Killian Spellman, and Ronnie Dixon have done what they're supposed to do this year. And they've gotten better each day. They've allowed me to coach them, even though their talent, you know, at times you might have talented kids think they don't need to be coached, but they've done their part with that. And then my sophomores have done an amazing job. Seth Pratt's made big shots all year for us, just constantly works hard. And Monte Collins has been unbelievable on the ball defensively and just been a great teammate. I've had 7 guys start throughout the year, and you know, nobody's complaining, or, you know, they just want to win, and they know that the individual stuff will take care of itself.
So injury-wise, you okay?
Yeah, we're healthy, and we're just got to have one real good day of practice today, and then tomorrow we'll be real light, get shooting, because the hay's in the barn. And these kids, one thing about this group, Gil, even though we've been successful and we've gone to the state tournament now 9 years in a row, none of these guys have played in a state tournament game. Some of them set the bench on the 19 team, and some of them would have played last year, but that got cut. So I'm excited for them to get this experience, but I know that that first quarter could be a little kind of like our first quarter, because we hadn't been in the area championship before in Rogers.
Yeah.
You know, we had to take that.
Well, it's a great
advance.
experience for the kids, and it's a great for Memorial and for TPS.
Tulsa Public Schools.
Congratulations getting there again. And,
Thank you.
We hope you have that gold ball when you come back.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll have Randy Rutherford, who is the head basketball coach at McLain High School.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Glass bottle, string lights, ceramic mug. The correct answer is glass bottle. Glass bottles and jars are perfect for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But string lights and ceramic mugs should be donated or thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with. Not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have Randy Rutherford, the head basketball coach of the McLain Titans. And Randy, golly, you almost got there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a great run for the young men to get that experience, and we just came up a little bit short.
I tell you, they really, it appeared to me, and I saw them play periodically, they just got a little bit better as the season went on.
Well, yeah, fortunate enough, I've been with these guys for almost 3 years now, so my goal is always to, kind of peak late in the season around, where we are right now, in February and early March. So we end up playing really well the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season.
I tell you, Randy, I really appreciate it and have told many, many people about your schedule with your kids, bring them to school at 11:30 in the morning, and so you know where they are during that period of time. I think that paid dividends in the end.
It definitely did. I mean, it helps you not academically, but it also helps you build a culture of friendships and family. And I think the guys understood it was important to make sure that we would stand together and doing the things we needed to do, which would help us translate from the classroom to the court.
You have any kids that are going to go on and play at the next level?
Yeah, I got one kid, Keywan McCall. I'm going to get him out there. He'll get somewhere. I'll get him somewhere to go. And my best player is a junior, so my key thing for these kids right now is these seniors to make sure they get all their plans set up to go to college and TCC and Tulsa Tech. So we got a 4-plan step that we go over every day, and what you need, how can I help you, where you at on your plan. So I look forward to these young men being successful in life.
That's fantastic. We have purchased and will be in the schools the rest of this year and hopefully all of next year, where a kid gets an account at no cost to them. They can log on literally to the clearinghouse and find out exactly where they are, what they need to take, what they have taken, and everything else. And I think hopefully that'll help our counselors and help our coaches advising those kids.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's definitely, I looked at that, especially for our freshmen, letting them get a head start. And our seniors, they're a little late for them, but it's still some access that they can use. So I think that'll be a blessing for a lot of schools and a lot of students and parents going forward.
How do you look for in the future at McLain basketball?
Well, I think right now we're on the right path. I think we got a good culture going. I think we're working with Monroe to get some of those young guys to come to McLain. We got a good group of 8th graders this past year, will be freshmen this year coming in. So the future is bright. And I don't know if McLain is ready for what it's going to take to be successful in that consistency every day. But from a coach's standpoint, we're pretty happy with what we got coming.
Well, you got a great facility.
Absolutely. The facility is beautiful. I mean, we just got to figure out, we're going to get a lot more games, get some fans in there. This year, you can have fans, and we had a really successful year than we had in the past. So next year, I think it's going to be exciting for our players to know that we're going to pack the place.
It really was one of those difficult things when we had to be as careful as we did with only parents and so on. But yeah, I look forward to next year as well. The feeder program is important, and I know you guys work very closely with Monroe.
Oh, we definitely do. Connor Johnston is the AD over there, and he's one of my assistants. And so we've connected, and he's got a good basketball mind, and he enjoys teaching. So I think with him over there and us working together every day and understanding what the vision is for McLain, I think we got a chance to be really successful in the next couple of years.
Randy, I think that's probably one of the key factors that has not led, I think, to a great deal of success in the past. Because we didn't have that feeder system that way.
There's no question. I think it's important for those young guys over there, the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades, want a vision of coming up being a big Titan. You know, all the great programs around Tulsa that has history and tradition, you have a young feeder program. And so I think this year is the start of what we're trying to accomplish for these young men to get the experience and to have the opportunity to be successful at McLain.
Well, we certainly are glad you're here, and I really want to congratulate you. I know it's not where you wanted to be, but you've turned the program around, and we appreciate that.
I appreciate the support that you guys give us, Gil. I know it's a hard job for everybody, but this year was special in a lot of ways. So we're excited about it, and we're definitely excited about the future.
Well, we are too, and we'll be making that call too down to Oklahoma City.
Absolutely.
When we come back, we'll have Carlin Adkism, the head girls basketball coach at Will Rogers High School.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Plastic bottle, cooler, laundry basket. The correct answer is plastic bottle. Plastic bottles and jugs are perfect for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But coolers and laundry baskets should be thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Our guest now is the head girls basketball coach at Will Rogers High School, Carlin Adkism. Carlin, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Tough year.
Tough
year.
Yeah,
had expectations, had goals and things, and you lengthened the season about as long as you could without getting to the state tournament. But let's talk about this year.
A lot of people will probably say, can you blame COVID and blame this and that, but I don't think that was a problem. I think we persevered through that throughout the year. I think at some point you got to put the ball in the hole. In playoffs, it's about who wants it more, who's going to prepare more, and who's going to execute. And we just came up short. We weren't able to get any stops when we needed or any make any shots. So it just came down to basketball to me.
How young are you?
We started 3 sophomores, and so we have a fairly young team. We do lose 4 seniors, but again, like I said, we started 3 sophomores, and we have a good future with our freshman group that just came in. So I think we'll be fine.
Looking forward to next year then.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And hopefully next year won't be as disjointed as this year has been, in school, out of school, all that kind of stuff. So as you go into the off season now, and unfortunately a week earlier than everybody else, what's your plan for the rest of the school year in a normal basketball regiment?
Well, honestly, I like the girls to get away and go run, do some track. If they want to do track, just do other sports to get away from me, and just enjoy those other sports kind of. And then we come back when that sport is over, and probably towards the end of May, and kind of get ready for our team camps and our off season. But like I said, I like to get away from get those girls away, and like I said, enjoy those other sports that we have.
It's really interesting. I've seen over the past year where we've had NFL quarterbacks making that statement that the best thing for an athlete is to have a varied athletic experience, not have a singular athletic experience.
Correct. Yeah.
And I think in speaking with Steve Frevis, our coordinator of sports medicine, there's no question.
Right.
You use different muscles in different sports.
Definitely.
And if you're always using the same muscles, the chances of getting those injured are a lot greater than moving and changing everything. So I'm glad to hear that you want your kids to to be involved in track. And,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
do you have any soccer players?
No, I do not. Maybe I should. They get good feet work. That's a good idea. Maybe
I know Rogers Soccer has
Yeah.
been pretty good.
Oh, yes, always. Since I've been there, we've always had a decent soccer team.
And what a great year to christen the stadium with soccer.
There you go. It's a nice
Yeah.
stadium,
How do you
too.
feel about everything that has transpired since you've been at Rogers?
Well, I started in 2010, so I've been there quite a while. So I've seen a lot of things change and transpire, like you said, just from an academic standpoint. It has just, it's just total opposite since when I started. Athletics has grown. We had to restart and have 2A and kind of grow and only have freshmen and sophomores, and each year we gained a grade. So I seen a great deal of change and, for the better. Obviously, our boys are in state now, haven't been there since 1996.
Yes.
And our girls program is doing well. I mean, I think we're just growing as a school in whole, not just on the athletic side, but just on the academic side as well.
It's good to see that too, because when we moved back to Tulsa, 2008, I think.
Yeah.
It was a different situation.
It was,
and,
right.
What Crystal has done and Nikki Dennis has done, and of course I have two of your former athletics directors on our staff now.
Yeah, you did a little bit.
Well, actually, I have three.
Yeah, you did a little bit of recruiting.
Yeah.
Did you?
Well, they got to kidding me one day. Said, "Do you have to go to Rogers before you get down to the?" We hired Mick, and he was the basketball coach,
right,
and assistant AD.
Yeah,
And then Steve came in, and so we hired Steve, and then Jim came in. We hired him. No, I of course, as you know, have an affection for that school, but it is. I've seen a great change academically and athletically, and I think it's a great place. So, what are your plans for the summer? You got summer league coming up?
Yeah, we got summer league coming up, and hopefully we'll get to have a good summer. Without all the regulations and us being able to grow as a basketball team. Just going to camps and just trying to get our chemistry back down. I feel like our chemistry was there this year. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like I'm not taking summer for granted no more. It really it made me realize how much it was needed when we didn't have it. How much that it made us grow as a team and come together.
Building those relationships, and it's so difficult when you're not together all the time.
Definitely.
Just being in school.
Yeah. Just being in school
is a major thing. To be able to see that student athlete walk down the hall and how'd you do in your English test?
Right.
And we didn't have that opportunity, and I feel that, again, I think our coaches have done a really, really good job to keep us where we are.
And also just for the students, for the players, just having that routine every day.
Right.
Not being in the bed all day on a computer, or, being able to get on the computer when you want to, and then just getting out of bed and just, being active.
Come to school.
Right, exactly, right.
Well, I'm glad you're here today,
Thank
and
you.
good luck in the off season, and
Appreciate that.
we'll look forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you.
And when we come back, we're going to have David Winton, the head boys basketball coach at Will Rogers, going to the state tournament for the first time since 1996.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Air filter, cardboard box, toy car. The correct answer is cardboard box. Paper and cardboard are perfect for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart, but air filters and toys should be thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Athletics is so important at Tulsa Central because it's an outlet for some of our kids there. They get a better opportunity to basically give back to our community.
At McLain, the sports is what mainly drives a bunch of the students to come to school every single day and work hard because they want to be able to come from the classroom to the field or the court and show at what they're good at.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we had the head basketball coach at Will Rogers, state-bound Ropers, David Winton.
Thank you.
David, welcome to the show, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Well, I tell you, what a year, huh?
Great year.
Great year. You start out with a real rocky start, and then, boy, just kept building through the year and end up in the state tournament. What a great opportunity for our kids.
Thank you again. Thank you.
So tell us about the season.
So we started off a little rocky. We started off 0-3, and I'm gonna blame OSSA on that. We have some kids that played football that normally don't. Because of the COVID situation, I encouraged them to go play football because we weren't quite for sure that the basketball season was going to make. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the year, they extended it one more week in football. So, when I got my kids in, I think we had 2 practices, 3 scrimmages, and then we went and played. And we were competitive. We just happened to get number 2 Memorial. All right, we got Bishop Kelly. And then we got East Central. Everybody was in the top 7 of the state. Mm-hmm. So, we went in by fire. But also, it just took a little while to get that football muscle memory out and get that basketball muscle memory back in.
Well, you have 2 tremendous performers with a great supporting cast. But talk about your Markells.
Yeah, I've had several interviews about the 2 Markells, and they are the cornerstones of the Rogers program. We've had them since they were freshmen. And they just improved every single year. Most of the success I think that we're enjoying right now is because of the time and the hard work that those 2 young men have done.
I know you had indicated to me earlier that you had a talk with your young players and said you need to watch how these varsity kids work because that's what it takes to get where they are. That's got to be a tremendous impact on your team.
And it is, and they're 2 really good role models to watch. They do it right. Obviously, they're talented. They work hard, but they come to school every single day. They do well in the classroom, and then I think that translates to whatever they do outside of the classroom. So, like in basketball, I think just knowing how to do it right and doing it at a high level and having passion for it is the right approach to be successful.
Talk about their supporting cast. I guess you got a couple of guards that are pretty good too.
I have 2 very good guards that are just as athletic as anybody else. They're juniors. Devontae Pruitt, Terrence Thomas. They don't quite get the publicity that the 2 Markells are getting right now, but they're equally as athletic, and the 2 young men can really play basketball.
As you get ready to play, how do you feel about your bracket in the state tournament?
Well, I think it's fair. We got to take on, if we win the first round against Carl Albert, then we get to play, the 2nd-ranked team in state, and then if we get that, we get number 1 in state. So we get the top 3 teams. I think it's fair.
Well, you know where you stand.
We know where we stand.
Exactly.
We play at 2:00 every day, so at least that's going to be consistent.
That is consistent. Yeah, I looked at that bracket. I thought that was interesting that it was 2:00 all the way through. As you look to the future, you always build on successful years. How does the Rogers basketball program look in the next 2 or 3 years?
We're going to be athletic. Now, I cannot replace the 2 young men that we're going to lose as seniors this year. But what we're going to do is we're going to find other athletes within the program that are going to help them contribute. And I think we have that there. I really do.
If you talk about your 2 seniors, and obviously they're leaders and everything, will they play beyond their senior year in high school?
Yeah, they're starting to get some. They're starting to get more interest from schools. I think that's just how it works, though. A lot of the schools kind of wait because of the COVID situation. A lot of times there's not cap room for scholarships. They're allowed to stay, I guess, for another year, maintain eligibility. So there's just not opportunities like in the past. But yes, Markel Sutton has been offered by Connor State. And right now, we're talking to quite a few schools with Markel Johnson.
Well, I know it has, and I've always said that the group of kids that benefited the least from this is this year's seniors. I have a grandson that was a redshirt freshman 2 years ago. Didn't play again last year, and it was funny. We went up to Fort Hays to watch. They had a scrimmage with Northwestern State. And we were having breakfast on Sunday morning, and one of his brother's friends came to the deal, and he said, well, now, Landon, you've been here. This is the 3rd year you've been here. How many years do you have left? He said, I have 4, because he hadn't played yet. He was redshirted and then pandemic redshirted. And I think that's really hurt these seniors because there's less money, especially in your Division II and your junior colleges, because they carry those kids over. They don't have enough money, to go out and there are equivalencies, In Division II, you only have 10.
Exactly.
You know, and if you're carrying somebody over, then that takes one, and that's it. So
we've had those conversations where we thought we might, have to walk on, but with some of the really good athletes in TPS, financially that would be a pretty big burden on the family.
Yeah,
yes.
it would be. Well, congratulations on a great
Thank you,
year. We'll be watching you at the state tournament, and when we come back, we're going to have Kevin Gordon, who is the head track coach at East Central High School.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Mini blinds, hanger, plastic bottle. The correct answer is plastic bottle. Plastic bottles and jugs are great for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But mini blinds and hangers should be thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
I love Will Rogers Athletics because it helped me physically, spiritually, and emotionally through all the journeys I've been through at that school. All of the support staff helped me a lot, and it's just an amazing school.
Athletics at Will Rogers changed my life because it became a second family. With the support of my coaches and teammates, it's helped me gain confidence, work as a team, and will help me in college and in life.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and as the season changes, we get outside and we have the head track coach at East Central High School, who also happens to be the head football coach, Kevin Gordon. Kevin, glad to have you here, and let's talk about track
Glad to be
a
here.
little bit.
Excited. Track season comes around. That means spring. That means running. That means great sunny weather outside, and looking forward to this season. We were canceled last year right after that Glenpool meet. So this year, all my kids that didn't get to run last year, they're really excited. And I've got a good group of kids. David Turner, I'm looking for some big things to come from him. Of course, William McGuire is going to come out and run track, and DeMonte Wilson, Jordan Wilson. So we got a good group of young men, and I'm excited.
Has this season, being so disjointed of kids in school and out of school all around the state of Oklahoma, has that lessened the number of meets that are available for you?
Well, it kind of has, but you just kind of have to work around that, But we're still able to pretty much get a full schedule in. Towards the end of the season, you're kind of looking to fill a meet before you go to regionals. That's
Right.
the big thing. You want to make sure you have that last tune-up run, that last chance qualifier, if you want to call it that, before you go to regionals and then on to state. But
Let's talk about that, because when you are wanting to peak out at the end of the year, and you really haven't had your kids but about 2 weeks in school now, going on 3 weeks this week. Has that retarded that opportunity to really have a planned workout toward the end of the season, or can you make up time in here?
Well, you can make up time, but see what we were able to do, even with the distance learning, we still had our track practice. We just moved it to later in the day. So we were able to still bring the kids up and work them out. And they got transportation up to the school. So it worked out. But, having them there now every day, you can't beat that.
No.
In the building, you can't beat that.
Establishing that relationship
Right.
with those kids outside of track.
Right. Right.
Academic, in the hallway, those kind of things. And we certainly appreciate our superintendent and the Board of Education for
Most
allowing
definitely.
us to continue
Yes.
to have our
Yes.
seasons.
Yes.
But in that vein, and I can tell you, I tell them this all the time down at the ESC, that had it not been for the effort of our coaches, we would not have been able to do what we have done. We've completed 2 full seasons. Now we're in the third season, and we're going to complete this third season.
We are.
But I really appreciate everything that you and the other coaches have done throughout. So as you look forward to what's on the horizon, what's a big meet that you're looking forward to?
Well, we've got Okmulgee. We're going to go run on the 26th. Then we'll go run out at Coweta. The Holland Hall meet is always a big meet, and we're pretty excited. We're going to actually take a trip down also and go to run at Hilldale.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this is going to be the first time we've ran a track meet at Hilldale. So excited to go down there. So My kids are working hard. We've got one, William McGuire, who's amazing athlete and can really run. And then you add David Turner into that mix with him. So we're looking forward this year. We're looking forward.
Spring break have any cause any difficulties in
No.
training and everything?
No, what I do with the kids, because they're kids, and at the end of the day, they want to have a spring break. So we always Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the first 3 days of spring break, we work out and we establish that time, and then I give them Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. That way, if they want to, towards the back end of spring break, go somewhere they can, and they don't lose all that we've been working to build up to this point. So.
Sure. Well, we certainly are glad you're here today.
Glad to be here.
I'm glad we're in the spring.
Oh, yeah.
The sports, and we get through this week of our final basketball round, and then we'll be full blown with the spring sports. So good luck this spring.
Thank you.
I hope you're able to get to every meet that you want to get to and keep your kids healthy.
Yes,
and
yes.
Good luck. And when we come back, we're going to have another track coach, the head track coach at Booker T. Washington, Greg Nash.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Mini blinds, hanger, plastic bottle. The correct answer is plastic bottle. Plastic bottles and jugs are great for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But mini blinds and hangers should be thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
I love Will Rogers Athletics because it helped me physically, spiritually, and emotionally through all the journeys I've been through at that school. All of the support staff helped me a lot, and it's just an amazing school.
Athletics at Will Rogers changed my life because it became a second family. With the support of my coaches and teammates, it's helped me gain confidence, work as a team, and will help me in college and in life.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. And now we have the head track coach at Booker T. Washington, Greg Nash. Greg, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Gil, for inviting me. Well, good to be here today.
Well, it's always good to be somewhere, isn't it?
Yes, good to be seen.
Well, it's been a challenge, Coach, with the pandemic and kids not being in school and trying to run a cross-country program and then go into a track program. And we've had kids in school, 2 weeks now. Tell me how you've made it through that time.
Well, Gil, we've had a lot of interruptions this year, due to the pandemic. I think that we've done the best we could, with what we had, and the kids that could show up has been very good and been great. We've lost kids, due to transportation issues. Parents are working all the time. But we made good adjustments, and the kids that wanted to run were able to get there. And we finished the cross-country season, not like we wanted to, but we had 7 meets, and we finished all those. And then we turned our attention now to track. So we got decent numbers, and not like what we've had in the past, like I said, due to the pandemic. But we're getting better, and I think the kids are coming around, and they finally recognizing that we're going to have a spring sports and track, because the word is, a lot of them said, well, we didn't know if we were going to have track this spring again. So now they're showing up to practice and wanting to come out and join the program.
I think that'll be the thing. I ran some numbers early or late last week comparing this year to last year and so on. We are down numbers, but I think to be able to get to the season, show that we're going to have meets, places for those kids to compete. I think after spring break, I think our numbers will go up a little bit. And so I'm going to do another report after that for the board. But how has that affected the scheduling your track meets?
Well, the track meets have been not been able to fill the meets because of school districts are not allowing so many teams. So you're really down to about 8 to 10 teams that meets for these school districts around Tulsa. So we normally run about 8 meets in regionals and state. This year we're going to be down to about 5 meets, and then regionals, conference regionals and state. So it's made a big disappointment. Some of the kids are disappointed because we don't have 7 or 8 meets, but I mean, they understand with the pandemic, and they understand that the situation of safety and going to these meets can be very unsafe, because most kids won't practice social distance because they all like to socialize. they're all friends with everybody all around Tulsa. So I think it's going to be okay. I think, and then they'll see the interest, and it'll pick back up in the fall when we get back to cross country, and they know that we had a good, successful season in track.
Well, I really know that our coaches have done a great job, athletic directors out at the schools, to engage as many students as we had, complete the seasons that we had. You know, we're 2 seasons down, now we're in the third one. And probably in the middle of last summer, if anybody said we'd have finished football, they'd say, well, you're crazy.
Right.
And then we finished the winter sports, and now we're into spring sports. So I know the kids have had quite an adjustment for them, both athletically and academically.
Right. And
so as we move forward, what do you think your strengths of your team are this year?
Well, I mean, you know, we got the football players. We always get a lot of speed from the football team, and we got about 15 football guys out there that's been out there a few weeks because they've been lifting weights, and we're just adjusting. We've been back in school a couple of weeks, and now they're coming on out, and we're making some good adjustments. Coach Brown, the head football coach, is my assistant coach, and he's out there with me, and that makes a big difference with those kids coming out. We got a lot of speed, and we're going to be okay. I think, like you said, finishing the season, I think that's the big key, getting their confidence built up and moving forward each week. And I think we're getting better. And I was very encouraged yesterday with the numbers that we had come out yesterday. And the girls will be pretty solid. We've got some good young girls. We'll be solid. I got girls showing up too. Some of them said, well, we didn't know we was having track this year. My mom said we didn't know we was doing sports. But I think we're getting the word out there now that we are going to compete, and we're going to have a track team and fulfill a full team, boys and girls. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very encouraged as of yesterday. As practice, we're getting the numbers back, and I think we're going to be okay once we get through the season and finish on a positive note. I think we're going to be okay.
So you got, you said 5 meets, and I know that peaking is always a important factor in any sport, but especially the track, because you can build that speed, the distance races, everything. How has being away from these kids, how has that had to make you make adjustments to the conditioning of your student athletes?
Well, what we've done, we started out a slow process of developing them. Most of those kids have done a good job on their own. We've always sent them a workout. Okay, we have what we call the band app, and we post their workouts on there, and they can do these things on their own. The majority, probably 80% of those kids have been working out and doing something on their own. So we're behind just a little bit, not much, because like I said, peaking, we don't want to peak out in March or April. We want to be ready when it comes for the regionals, you know, and around the first week of May into the state meet. So that's where we want to be at. So we can kind of sneak up on some people, you know, at the end and develop them and get good workouts in, good workout. And like I said, we come to work every day, do what we're supposed to be doing in practice, trying to get better. And then they know when we get to May what we got to do to get to the next weekend.
And that's it. And, you know, it all culminates with the state meet the second weekend in May. And to have our kids all together now, you know, a lot of people bemoaned TPS not being in school. I think it was better for our kids not to be in school than to be in school one week and out of school the next and back in school the next, and out of, you know, from the continuity of you being able to post your workouts and things. I think that that made a lot of difference. Well, Greg, good luck this year. I think we're going to finish in good shape. I think the virus, we've kind of got it whipped, and we're moving in the right direction. So good luck, and I hope you win a regional and state championship this year.
Yeah, thank you, Gil. I appreciate you having me.
No problem. And when we come back, we're going to have Joel Koester from the Tulsa Sports Commission.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Mini blinds, hanger, plastic bottle. The correct answer is plastic bottle. Plastic bottles and jugs are great for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But mini blinds and hangers should be thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hales means that you have to be consistent. outgoing, and be dedicated because students at Nathan Hale look up to the football team.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hale has taught me to be confident and disciplined and always to be open-minded and always ready to work with people no matter how difficult it is.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have a very special guest, Joe Kester, the Tulsa Sports Commission, and boy, are you guys busy.
Yes, we've been extremely busy. We just came off of probably one of the busiest weekends we've had in a few months, and so we just got done wrapping up the Big 12 Wrestling Championships downtown Tulsa at the BOK Center, and I'll tell you, it was one of the best events we've had in a long time, and I know the Big 12 was extremely happy with the results, as we were as well.
I can't imagine when it came down to a tie for the championship.
Yeah, that was obviously a unique situation,
Oh, my
and
goodness.
I will tell you, I'm just happy to see Oklahoma represented
Oh,
on a
man.
national scale, to have both our teams be Big 12 champions. It's an awesome experience, and I'll tell you, the fans, you talk about Bedlam all the time, and this was truly a Bedlam experience. But both sides are happy, obviously, which can't ask for anything more, right?
No, it was a great, of course, we know how great the venue is at the BOK, but to have that level of competition, and I think the Big 12 has done a really good job in continuing to promote wrestling, even though not all the schools in the current Big 12 wrestle. By letting those other schools in, it gives a little bit of a different flavor to that championship.
I agree. The Big 12, they've really focused on a lot of their core sports throughout the years, but really elevating wrestling on a scale that hasn't been done before, and using the beautiful facility in downtown Tulsa, again, just takes it to a whole nother level. And, Oklahoma in general is just a great wrestling community.
Mm-hmm.
And, I would argue with Iowa that Oklahoma is right up there with being one of the best host sites for wrestling in the country.
Well, I spent 6 years in Iowa, and the last year I was up there, the university I was at, we hosted the Division II National Championship in Cedar Rapids. And I told them the only thing would be better if we had it in Tulsa, Oklahoma City. They didn't think that was too funny, but
I'm sure.
No, it is fantastic, I think, for the state. And it's great that we had the championship, because one of the big questions as we went into the pandemic was wrestling. How safe is wrestling going to be? We were concerned, obviously, with our high schools going into that, but it worked out well. The colleges worked out well, and we finished the season. And so now we're moving on, and you're moving on. What do you have on the horizon?
Wow, we've got a lot of things coming down the pipeline, but as we're on the topic of wrestling, we're excited. Last year, we got the call from the NCAA that we were awarded the 2023 Division I National Championships, which is a big deal. We're going to have 80,000 fans converging on the BOK Center in downtown Tulsa in mid-March of 23. And, it's really just going to be an awesome event, not only for Tulsa, but the state of Oklahoma and wrestling fans all around. So we're really excited about that event.
That, and then what before that, though? You have
before that, yes. So coming up, actually, in May, on May 23rd, we are hosting the Ironman North American Championships right here in Tulsa. We're going to have 10,000 athletes from all over the world converging on Tulsa, triathletes, so swimming, biking, running, and it's going to be great, not only for all those athletes, but the community as well. Tulsa is such a great outdoor town, and as the development around Gathering Place continues, and to have the river side trails going, it's just going to be an awesome experience. And so right now, if anyone's interested, we are still looking for volunteers. And it's real easy. If you just visit ironman.volunteerlocal.com, you can get all the information you need to volunteer. And again, we welcome people to come out and either spectate or volunteer for the event.
That'll be great, because this was supposed to happen last year, wasn't it?
It was, yes, and we postponed until May of this year. And in the meantime, though, because it was just going to be a regular stop on the Ironman tour, we were awarded in between the North American Championships, which is a really big deal for the triathlete community, and again, a huge deal for Tulsa.
That's fantastic. Anything on the horizon for BMX?
Yes, BMX. We are going to be, if you don't know already, the home to BMX, USA BMX. And their headquarters and Hall of Fame are under construction right now down in the historic Greenwood district. I just drove by the other day, and I'm happy to report we're hoping to be cutting that ribbon towards the winter months of this year,
great.
and hopefully be hosting a national USA BMX event in the facility in February of this next year.
Well, that'll be fantastic.
Yes.
Tell me how the Sports Commission works. How does that work with the local entities, the governments, and all that business?
Sure. So the Tulsa Sports Commission is a division of Tulsa Regional Tourism, which falls under the umbrella of the Tulsa Regional Chamber of Commerce. Mouthful, right? But I will tell you, all three entities work hand in hand, and in that mix under Tulsa Regional Tourism, we do have Visit Tulsa. Our main objective is very simple on the sports side. We want to attract youth and amateur sporting events from all over the United States to come take place right here in Tulsa. And we do that numerous ways by marketing Tulsa as a major destination, not only for sporting events, but for leisure travel as well. Tulsa is more than just great sporting facilities. We have places like the Gathering Place and a slew of other amenities that other communities around the country just don't have, including some of the best museums around and future museums that are coming online, like OK Pop, Greenwood Rising. So again, it's we get it all the time. If you've never been to Tulsa and you visit, people leave going, "Wow, what an experience!"
You don't know what you're missing.
That's
you know,
right.
That's the thing. And of course, with the Gathering Place being the #1 park in America, doesn't hurt your ability to sell the Tulsa.
Absolutely. And so, the best part about it is in working with the different entities within the chamber, obviously the chamber's mission to really promote Tulsa as not only one of the best business communities and philanthropic communities in the country, but to help support tourism is just, again, just an added bonus.
You bet. Joel, we're glad you're here today.
Yeah,
if there's anything we can do to help you, let us know. And when we come back, we'll wrap up the show.
Sounds great. Thanks, Gil.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Plastic bottle, cooler, laundry basket. The correct answer is plastic bottle. Plastic bottles and jugs are perfect for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But coolers and laundry baskets should be thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Athletics at Will Rogers changed my life because it became a second family. With the support of my coaches and teammates, it's helped me gain confidence, work as a team, and will help me in college and in life.
Thank you for watching today. That was a great show. I think we had some hopefully state championship basketball coaches on today. We talked about our spring sports, and the next time in 2 weeks, we'll be talking about what all we did at the state tournament and how we will get into the last season of the year, the third season, our spring season. Stay tuned, watch our show, and watch our student athletes as they perform.